Kia ora whānau, it is Lauren here from Chasing Your Shape Ball. Anyway guys, what has happened to my vlogs? I think that's probably the most important question about what's actually really going on. So anyway guys, I just wanted to do this vlog for you guys because I just wanted to explain a couple of things. I kind of stopped really quite abruptly just after the March vlogs that I put out. And obviously for you guys to see, I had a terrorist attack actually happen in my hometown of Christchurch. And I was there 5 days before the attack and I was shook. And I didn't know how to deal with it in a really good way. And I went to Sydney a week later and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I really couldn't deal with what had actually happened, and I felt that at the time I was trying to actually be as respectful as I could to the entire situation, but within myself I was causing a lot more anxiety for myself, and there was just a few other things that sort of contributed to why I just really had to stop and be more respectful for people. And I felt that the best way to actually respect what had actually gone on was to stop. You know, I don't think for my own self that was probably the best way to go about it, but I was causing a lot more anxiety for myself. I was emotionally drained from the entire experience, and I felt like for my own self, because I study in this field and I want to teach others about the Holocaust and things like that, which is a very similar part of human history which involved white supremacism, I felt like I failed. And this is where a lot of my anxiety was caused from. So I just decided that the best way to deal with this was to stop, and I did. So that's sort of part of the one reason that I really just had to stop. I had to take a break. Things were getting a lot much for me, and any vlogger out there will tell you that vlogging week in, week out will actually have an emotional toll on you. You'll actually have haters, which affects me on a daily basis. But also the other thing is that a lot of people don't realize is that how much work is actually put into filming and also the post-production work. And for me, at a time where I'm emotionally drained, and also I was battling an illness at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. So I just really had to sort of say, here's the content, but I just couldn't do it. So yeah, so I'll just show you guys a kind of a little bit of clips of what it has happened, what actually happened in Sydney. And then, yeah, I don't want to be too disrespectful for what has actually happened. And yeah, I just don't want to be, because I feel like my experience of actually traveling for rugby should not be stopped because of one person's evil ideology. So yeah. Anyway guys, I'm actually at Brisbane Airport today because I am heading to Sydney. Obviously the week that's been had is very emotional for me with the Christchurch terror attacks and everything like that. But today I'm heading off to see my beloved Crusaders today in probably one of the most emotional trips that I'm ever going to take. And obviously probably in one of the most emotional games I'm ever going to watch. So obviously check this out.
We acknowledge those who tragically lost their lives in Christchurch last week. Our thoughts and sympathies go out to all those affected by this tragedy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I can definitely concede now that we've lost this game. Obviously it's not been an easy week for the boys, and it's just not been an easy week in general. Well done, Moritage, you've done really well. It's been one of those mornings. Now back on the plane, back to Brisbane. Obviously it hasn't been an easy weekend, and I'm here now going back to Brisbane. Obviously the guys losing was one thing last night, but I think emotionally I was just too drained, and yeah. So I will update you guys. I was talking to Ryan Cruddy last night, but talking about what happened last week, and I just lost it. I just started crying and I couldn't stop. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm losing a battle with what passions I want to do, and how I just want to teach people about things like the Holocaust and that, because it needs to be told so we don't have these things happen. I just feel like I'm losing a battle right now, but you know what, I've got to just keep on keeping on. I think that's probably the best thing I can do. So anyway, I got back from Sydney, and I would say for a kind of a long period of time, I've always been suffering with chronic pain. And I'm not talking about just like a backache or anything like that. I'm talking about debilitating female problems. And I'm going to be open about this. So if you guys are I don't want to listen to this. It's a bit, you know, if it might feel like too much information for you guys, maybe you should stop watching this vlog now. But I'm going to talk about women's issues, so I just want to just warn you guys for this. So anyway, I started to battle chronic pain, and this is where I'm talking about being so debilitated when I was menstruating that I was pinned to bed because I could not move, because it was just that painful. And I'm telling you right now that it is a very debilitating thing to have what I've got. So I got back from Sydney and I really had to take a break from a lot of things, and I was really actually quite pinned to bed with my chronic pain condition. I was having a lot of other health problems that were linked to it as well, and I was very lucky that I got a specialist appointment in early May, and I was actually diagnosed with endometriosis. And for me, I think that weekend and that whole link up to, I was emotionally drained. You know, I'd had a couple of really rough weeks as well, because not only with the Christchurch terror attack, I lost my grandfather, I lost my great uncle within the space of 10 days. So it was just like a really kind of crap kind of few weeks leading up to my diagnosis, and I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't really deal with it, but I decided that there and then I would be best off getting the surgery. They did offer me a couple of other things like the pill, and also a IUD, which is a little device that's inserted into your uterus. However, I've decided against those. I've got a family history of high cholesterol, and also I have a family history of clots as well. So I didn't think it was probably maybe the right thing to go with. So I decided against those, and I actually went for the surgery instead. However, I am on a waiting list, and a waiting list can be up to 3 years. So I still have to wait. But until then, I'm on a pain management kind of thing. I take a lot of oxycodone, which is probably not the best thing to take. But I think for the time I'm doing really well. I still have to work around my schedule to know if I'm going to have a really bad day, then I know where I'm going to start from. So yeah, there's a lot of working with it, but you need to actually understand that if you work with it, it will help you, and not to let it control you. And I'm not letting it control me. So I think that's a really, really good thing. It's a really good thing to know that I'm not letting this actually control me. So as I mentioned before, I lost my grandfather back in late April. It was the 26th of April that he passed away. And I unfortunately was not able to go to his funeral because I went to Christchurch instead. And I'm going to actually put a vlog out for you guys very shortly on the sacrifices that travel does. Also, just certain other things about my life that I felt that at the time not going to his funeral was probably the best thing I could have ever done. I had a really great weekend in Christchurch. I was very supported. A lot of people just come up to me and had chats with me. And I think for me, that was probably the best thing I could have done. You know, my grandfather was 94 years old when he passed away. So he's had a very good, long life. And he's seen a lot of things. And he was a great person to talk to. But I felt that at the time, I've done the right thing by actually dealing with it in my own way by going to Christchurch. And although that the Crusaders had a draw that weekend and everything else that went horribly wrong that weekend, I would actually say that it was probably a very good weekend that I actually ended up having. And I would definitely say that Christchurch has been a really great place to actually escape from a lot of my problems. So yeah, and I do thank all of the people that I know in Christchurch who helped me through a really crap 2019, and I do thank you so much for everything you have done. So yeah. Anyway, I am at Gold Coast Airport as I'm actually heading off to Christchurch again today. Today actually hasn't been the really easiest day to travel. Last week I actually lost my grandfather and his funeral is actually tomorrow. So this week's going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm hoping to actually make this trip, you know, worthwhile something, considering I am going over to something that actually makes me really happy. But on the contrary also, I'm going home, and for me, Christchurch will always give me some sort of sense of safety. So anyway, let's get on with the vlog. I'm really excited to be showing Christchurch to you yet again. Anyway guys, I am at Christchurch Stadium right now and I'm actually heading to the Crusaders versus Sharks game tonight. So this is going to be a bit of a full-on game because it's the first time we've actually been in Christchurch for well over a month, and I'm actually really looking forward to actually being here. So I think I'm going to go into some more positive things about actually 2019, and obviously things that I'm really looking forward to, and obviously some things that have actually happened in my life recently, and you know, I'm really looking forward to just a few things that are actually coming up and whatever else. So first and foremost, on the 31st of May this year, U2, the Irish rock band, Gods, are actually coming to Australia. Yay! Anyway, I am so excited because the last time I saw them was in 2010. Just to let you guys know how much they are so part of my life, I am not going to Japan for the Rugby World Cup. That's just a massive thing, guys. I had a sniff about 12 months ago that they may be coming out this year. And the sniff was a very reliable source. The noises kept on getting louder and louder, and then boom, 31st of May, it was announced, and I was crying. I literally was crying when I found out they were coming, because they are just such a huge part of my life. You guys have seen in earlier vlogs where I've actually linked parts of Japan to a previous tour they've done, which is called Zoo TV. I've also linked when I was in Dublin to the reason why I went to Dublin in the first place. U2. So I am very excited that I'm actually going to see them. Now, I'm not just doing one concert. Hell no. No. I am not doing just one concert. I am doing 4 concerts. So I know that there are more people that are actually out there who are doing more than me. They're actually doing the entire tour, and I'm only doing 4 concerts. So anyway, we're starting off on November 12 in Brisbane, and I'm going to be vlogging through this entire experience with you guys, so you guys can see for yourself just how much this band means to me. So November 12, we're in Brisbane. 1 week later, November 19, I am going to Adelaide. And then on November 22nd and 23rd, I'm going to see them in Sydney as well. So you guys are going to see just how much this band means to me and why it was so important for me to actually drop the Rugby World Cup to see them. And to be honest, I know that some people are probably going to be like, why are you... I'm going to just tell you guys right now that you two have been part of my life since I was 8 years old. And the thing is that although... the All Blacks and the rugby and everything like that has been a huge part of my life for a really good long time, they have not been around as much as what you two have been. And the thing is, I can actually pop on a song and say, yeah, that helped so much for me. You know, you two's got me out of some really crappy times in my life, and music will always be there. You know, rugby will only be maybe once a week or a couple of times a week, but you two, the music will always be there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this vlog series with you guys because I want you guys to see just how much this band means to me. But also I will be doing some quick vlogs on Adelaide and Sydney in particular, and also I'll be doing a vlog on Brisbane and some highlights of Brisbane, because really I have not covered much about Brisbane considering I actually live here for a good chunk of the year. And really, I haven't really covered anything. So on the day before the concert, I'm actually taking some tourists around Brisbane just to show them around certain places around Brisbane. And for me, I think it was probably right time to actually do something like that. So that's why I'm going to do it. I'm going to move on from U2 right now. And the other really good thing that's actually happened this year, and well, it's kind of next year too, but who cares? is that I'm actually going back to Japan in March 2020. You know, I've booked my flights and I'm actually going to have a couple of nights stopover in Singapore as well. So I'm going to be covering Singapore and Japan as well. But I've only really got a couple of days in Japan. Effectively, I've only got 4 days in Japan. But to be honest, for what it's worth, it's going to be the best trip I'll ever have. And I'm actually flying up to Japan to go see the Coca-Cola Steelers, which you guys have seen so many times, where some of the legends of the game actually play, which is Dan Carter, Andy Ellis, and then next year we'll have Aaron Cruden and Brody Retallick actually playing for them as well. And I think that's a really huge thing for the game to actually see it grow in Japan, where they're going to have all of these big names come and actually put bums on seats. So I'm really looking forward to actually going back to Japan for that. But they're playing up against a team from in the Chiba prefecture called the Kubota Spears. A guy from the Crusaders, who I consider part of my rugby family, Ryan Crotty, is actually going to be playing for Kubota. So they're playing on the 14th of March, and I decided to actually go up and see them play. And I had terribly bad timing with this because the week after I booked those flights, the Crusaders, they're playing in Tokyo at the same time. Oh, shit. I have incredibly bad timing, guys. I have shitty timing. If I'd booked them a week later, I probably would have done something completely different. I probably would have spent a couple more weeks up there. But in saying that, I think for what it's worth, those three guys, Dan Carter, Andy Ellis, and Ryan Crotty, to me, I can, especially Andy and Ryan, I consider them part of my rugby family. And I consider them really good friends, and I consider them people that I've known for years who I respect so much, not just as players on the pitch, but also off the pitch, and what they are as people. So that's why I was like, if I'm going to give up a Crusaders game, this is what it's worth. So yeah. The other thing is that I actually saw Dan Carter last week. Yeah. I saw him in Brisbane last week. It was kind of a bit of a whirlwind kind of experience where I saw Dan. And for those people who might not know, I run the All Black Supporters Club here in Brisbane. And about 2 weeks prior to this actually happening, I got an email from the guy who actually runs the venue at midnight asking, would we be interested in having a meet and greet with Dan Carter? I nearly fell out of bed. I was like, holy shit. And I was crying, and I was just like, all of my hard work has now actually come to fruition. You know, I've copped some abuse, I've copped a lot of other shit, but one thing that I will admit to you guys is that there has been a lot of hard work to get that group up and running, but when we actually have people like Dan Carter come, it pays off. It really does pay off in so many ways. So when this all happened, incredibly bad timing again, I'll tell you this, I got sick 2 days before it all happened. I tell you that the night before, I got to bed at 8:30 thinking, oh, because I'm really sick, I'm going to go to bed early, I'm going to try and get as much sleep as I can. I woke up at 1:15 that morning, drenched in sweat. Oh my God. I seriously crawled in there, and I was really crook. I just had to sit on a chair. I was actually really crook. And I said to everybody, I do thank you for coming, but I just appreciate so much how much hard work goes into this, because I am not well right now and I don't want to spread germs, so please do not hug me. And what happened? Dan Carter hugs me. Ah! I know. So, yeah. The thing is that I am just so appreciative of what time we had there. You know, he actually saw for himself just how much hard work goes into that, and he thanked me so much for it, and all I could do was say, it is my pleasure, because for me, to do that for him, it's just, you know, to do that for All Blacks players, or even Black Ferns players, or even New Zealand rugby in general, it's my pleasure, because they know how much passionate I am about the game, and how much it means for me to actually be part of the game as well. But anyway, guys, I think I'll cut it off there, because it's always going to be a too long vlog, and I think, to be honest, I don't want to be sitting here talking about everything that I've done, because I really don't. I just want to tell you guys what an update that I've got. Yeah, I've been sick. I've got anxiety from a horrible day in 2019. I've lost some family members and I'm going to Japan. So anyway guys, what I'm going to be doing is I won't be putting out any more vlogs until December. And I think that's probably a respectful thing. I want to film the U2 series for you guys, just so you guys can experience what it's like for me to be a fan. But also I want to do some more things about Australian cities like Sydney and Brisbane and Adelaide. And like, as much as I'm not going to Melbourne, I will most likely be there next year. So we'll just see how that all works out. So yeah, but anyway guys, alright, if you actually like this video, make sure to actually like this video and actually subscribe to my channel as well. Hit the notification bell as well, so then next time I actually put a new video out, which won't be until December, you guys can get notified about it and you will actually know when I put it. So anyway guys, yeah, if you guys have anything else, if you guys got anything you want to talk about, just comment below and let me know. But thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you guys can get a better understanding of what's going on right now and why it is necessary for me to just take a break and come back later in the year. Alright guys, bye! Ka kite!